Namaste all. Welcome to today's session by Pranalink in collaboration with Mr. Prasant S Jituri. Emotional well-being is an essential component of holistic wellness since it influences your view on life, your relationships, and your health. Today, we have Mr. Prasant Jituri with us, taking the session on emotional well-being, harmony in relations. This session will help us to understand our beliefs and thinking patterns. Mr. Prasant Jituri is an ICF certified coach, numerologist, and mindfulness trainer. He is the owner of Living Harmony. He has one-on-one coaching experience of more than 250 hours, led and facilitated 50 plus workshops. Today, Mr. Prasant, in coordination with Pranalink, is conducting this free event. Enjoy the session, and over to you, Mr. Prasant.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for making it here, and with a lot of gratitude. I am indeed grateful to you for having shown up and making your presence felt in this time, moment, and space. So today we would be addressing the aspect of emotional well-being, and also we would be talking a little bit about relationships. Of course, considering the limitation of time, I know I won't be able to go very much in depth. So that is the reason we have actually kept the window open for one-on-one sessions. If any one of you is seeking to just reach out to us, please do feel free. And if we are ready to begin, I would just like to open the session with a little bit of centering for each one of you, for which I would call upon you to just sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Bringing your entire attention onto your breath. As you gently breathe in and breathe out. And with every breath, bring yourself into a state of complete relaxation. Gently breathing in and breathing out. Allow your body to completely relax as you feel a wave of relaxation all the way from the top of your head down through your neck, your spine, and to the bottom of your feet. Just become aware of your breathing as you allow the gentle breath in and out, taking you to a much deeper and a quieter place within. As you feel relaxed, no matter whatever has been happening in the past, or whatever you have been carrying inside of you, just release it and let it go for the time being. Continue focusing on your breath as you breathe in and breathe out, and know that you are simply amazing, and just by using your imagination, you can go wherever you want to. That's how extraordinarily blessed you are. For now, in this moment, let's take a journey into our own hearts, which is a very special, beautiful, and a sacred space. There may have been times when you may have felt sadness, or maybe you felt let down, and know that it's absolutely okay. Anytime we feel this sadness, we can check in with our heart and we can choose to visualize and imagine that we are surrounded with a beautifully glowing light, bringing us comfort through these worrisome and difficult times. As you first start visualizing, you might see this light as sunlight, which is warm, calming, soothing to your body and mind. It might be yellow or it could be misty. No matter how it is, just breathe it in deeply, allowing it to relax and comfort you. Notice how it gives you a sense of peace. Feel that warm light glowing and now surrounding your body completely. Watch this light as it now changes to soft blue, just like the color of the sky on a clear, dreamy day. The soft blue color calms you and brings you even more peace. You might even begin to feel as if you are drifting on a cloud. Gently and ever so softly, the light now changes into light pinkish color. Just watch how it changes its character and breathe it in deeply as you allow the light pink color to gently flow into your body, reaching directly to your heart. Feel this gentle light of love nudge any hurts and pain away. It helps you let go of the sadness and the worry as you exhale. Just pay attention to the fact that as you exhale and give away any hurt, feelings which are of pain or sadness, your heart eventually begins to feel lighter and a little free. The soft, gentle light fills up the space in your heart and shines out any sadness or pain. See this soft, glowing light filling up the entire space in your heart, gently, easily, and lovingly. Breathe this peacefulness in every part of you and notice the calm and stillness take over. Life just becomes better, your heart feels better, and this feeling of calmness will stay with you through the rest of the day or this evening today. Remember that you can call on this light to be with you and help you at any time. Imagine your heart beating with happiness, jumping with joy and excitement at how wonderful life can be. Life is so good and you feel peaceful if you choose to feel so. Take a moment just to feel gratitude for all the love and the surroundings which are around you. With a few more breaths, feeling calm and peaceful, turn your attention back into the present moment, into the space, knowing that love and peace are completely yours. Whenever you feel ready, gently open your eyes and bring your awareness back into the present moment. So is everyone back? Well, so if we can just understand where are you joining us from quickly, if you could just type that out in your chat box, just taking a few seconds. New York. Okay. John from India. Altaf from India. Krishna from Dubai. If others could pour in. Yeah, Mukta, thank you. Okay. So coming to the basics, just let's understand what is it that you understand when we talk about emotional well-being. Could someone type that out in the chat box? Anything else? Mental peace is something that Krishna has posted here. Okay, happy relationships, happiness, peace and balance in life. Wonderful. So let's explore what emotional well-being to me means. Emotional well-being to me is being in harmony by creating alignment between our mind, our body, our spirit, or maybe if we can term that as mind, body, emotions, and our spiritual self. Okay, it also means the ability to successfully handle life's stresses and adapt to change, moving beyond the difficult times by creating overall harmony within. That is how I would define emotional well-being as. Yeah. So basically, if we just look at it and if we reflect back, it all begins with a small thought. And whenever we go through on anything undesired, what is our first response? Our first response is about negativity, which could be the fear, as we tend to bring in the thoughts of negativity owing to something that which we did not expect has happened to us, and we tend to withdraw. And what I would like to mention here is all our thoughts are just, all our experiences are just the outcome of our inner thinking patterns. So having said this, if I can just quickly explain this to you, can I just ask upon you, each one of you, to just close your eyes for a moment as I lead you through a very small exercise very quickly, and say to yourself, this is an exercise and I don't mean anything personal about this. This is just to bring in the awareness about how our thoughts actually have an impact and effect on our emotions. So just say to yourself very gently, I am a bad person, repetitively a couple of times, and just pause after you say that a couple of times and see what are your experiences with the feelings and emotions. How does that make you feel? Obviously, this thought is producing a feeling inside of you. The self-hatred thought that you have just thought about also brings in self-criticism, which could make you feel low. Okay, and as humans, it's all but natural that each one of us goes through our own emotional cycles, and it is bound that negative thoughts do crop up, and this happens with each one of us. And how could we possibly do away with these negative thoughts, which bring in negative experiences, negative emotions inside of us? We always have a choice. And whenever a negative thought comes in, what I have seen work wonderfully for me is to just pause in the moment, thank this negative thought for coming up and making me understand that something else also could be possible. And then I consciously need to shift my focus on something that I desire to create for myself. Yeah. And this time, as you continue closing your eyes, think something differently, change this thought, and I'm sure that the feeling will also change. Let's choose to think the other way. I am a good person and I am loved by all. I am a good person and I am loved by all. Say this repetitively for a few times and see how that makes you feel. Know that whatever the situation, you need to trust your inner guidance to reveal to you whatever it is that you need to know in the perfect order. Okay, so maybe you could just open your eyes and come back into the present moment. And we, of course, would be having some time towards the end for any questions, and I would love to answer them for you. For now, I would just request you to please make a note of anything that may be coming up to your mind so that we just keep up with the flow of everything that needs to be spoken about. Yeah. So as I said, just changing these fearing and negative thoughts can actually change everything in us. So just by shifting a small thought, we can overcome any kind of negative feelings, any kind of negative emotions which we go through. And like everything else, this also needs practice. With practice, we can master the skill of consciously becoming aware of the thoughts that we think and then change them so that we are emotionally balanced and our mind, body, and our spirit are in alignment. It's just like learning to drive the car for the first time, or maybe learning to run a computer. Maybe for men, it's like learning to cook, which is initially difficult, but eventually with practice, we definitely tend to master this. So this was just an example of how we could change our thoughts and how different negative thoughts make us feel. And so having said this, once again, I would like to repeat that emotional well-being is the ability to successfully handle life's stresses and negative thought patterns, changing them to positive so that we start attracting positive experiences. Okay, so here are some of the things we could possibly do to create emotional well-being. So we'll be going in depth with each one of this. First thing is that building resilience in any situation, we need to reduce stress, tackle stress, get adequate amount of rest and sleep, strengthen our social connections because we are all social animals and we have been taught about this right from our childhood. Coping with any kind of loss which may occur, it could be personal losses, it could be loss of relationships, the demise of a loved one, anything. Being gentle and mindful. So to build resilience quickly, let me run you through what we need to do is we need to develop healthy physical habits. So healthy physical habits, a healthy body actually leads to a healthy mind. So it becomes very important for us to take good care of our physical bodies. We need to take time for ourselves each day where we do something that we love. It could be something like going out for a morning walk, listening to music. Some of us love to dance, play musical instruments, read a book, or maybe just relax, anything. Many of us also prefer spending time in nature. And also to build resilience, we need to look at problems from different angles. We need to change our perspectives. Most important is practicing gratitude for everything that comes up. Friends, gratitude is the most important thing in our life. And explore your beliefs about the meaning of purpose of life. What does life actually mean to you? And why everything that's happening around you is happening? Because understand every experience in our life which we come across is there for a reason, which is trying to teach us something. So it's up to us what is the message that we pick up. Yeah. And also we need to be mindful about the people we spend our time with, because all around, if we are surrounded by negative people, you know what's going to happen. On the contrary, if you surround yourself with successful and happy people, your energies also are going to vibrate higher. The next thing is reducing stress. Possibly we could do this by getting ourselves enough sleep, exercising regularly, building a social network where we can look back for support whenever we are stressed out, setting our priorities clear. This is where most of us actually lack, and that builds in a lot of stress. And of course, on the contrary, it is also true that we perform our best at times when we are stressed out the most. For me, it works out very well. So scheduling regular time for your relaxation activities, which uses mindfulness techniques and breathing, like yoga or anything else that you love doing. These are all the basics which I'm focusing on, which we know, but seldom we don't follow them. So it's always good to return to the basics. Getting enough sleep, go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, create a positive and a conducive environment around you when you go to sleep, limit the use of electronic gadgets and television, relax when it's bedtime. You could either choose to take a hot shower or just read a book. Avoid alcohol, caffeine, and large meals at night. This not only helps you get good sleep, but it also supports your physical well-being. Keep your midday naps short in case you just take a nap in the afternoon, and avoid sleeping for too long, because possibly there are all possibilities that we may not get the good adequate sleep at night. We also need to strengthen social connections, build strong relationships, especially with your kids and inner circles. And with inner circle, I mean those people whom you can be vulnerable towards, whom you can be very close to. It could be your spouse, your friends, your siblings, your parents, or anyone else. Stay active and share good habits with family and friends. Join social groups based on your interests and hobbies that you like. Always learn something new and be a part of different groups. Volunteer for activities in your community, because this is a way where you can give back to the community. You can be grateful, and also you can enhance and strengthen your social contacts, social connections. Travel often if you can and explore new things. Okay, so coping with loss. Most of us, whenever we lose something, maybe personal or maybe even in case of loss of a loved one, we tend to grieve a lot and we don't prioritize ourselves. So it becomes very important in such situations to make yourself a priority, and you need to take care of yourself first. Connect with friends and family, with people who care for you. Don't try to make any major changes right away. So just be with the feelings, because grieving needs time, and with time, understand that all the healing happens. Consider any additional support that you may need to grieve the loss. Be patient, knowing that healing takes time. And lastly, being mindful. Take deep breaths often during the day or when stressed. With this, I mean even at your work desk, whenever you're at a task and whenever you just need to take a break, or maybe you need to enhance your focus, a good way would be to just start by taking a few deep breaths, and 10 deep breaths for that matter help you a lot. I have personally experienced that. Spend time in nature, take a stroll, jog, go for a walk. Practice mindful eating. Be aware of the needs of your body and respect your body for that. Okay, so with this, probably we are towards the end of being mindful, and we can jump on to the relationship aspect, unless if anyone has any questions here, please feel free to ask me. I can see an hand up here, iPhone 3. No questions?
I'm sorry, I was just waving. I don't have a question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Very good. I'm enjoying this.
Thank you. No questions? Are we good to move on to the next part? Thank you. Okay. So as we move into the second aspect of our session today, we'll be talking a little bit about relationships, and each one of us friends goes through challenges in relationships in our personal life, in our professional life, and we can certainly work on our relationships and change them. And having said this, what I would like to say, that what's important for us is to know is that the only person whom we can change is ourselves. You try to change anyone else, you give them suggestions, they tend to become more defensive, and you see that they become more withdrawn. So any desired change that needs to happen needs to start from within us, and that can happen by bringing in one important aspect. Could anyone tell me what could that be? Someone, whatever comes to your mind, if you could type that out in the chat box. One word which can change a lot in our relationships. Yeah, self-love to a certain extent, yes. This happens, yes. Respect could be something, okay, because that is something that we seek in relationships. Love, respect, all these things are something that we seek out of our relationships, and when we don't receive them, that is the time when we start feeling bad about these relationships, where we look out for these things. So the magic happens when we tend to become compassionate towards the other person. So having said this, what I would like to add is that the idea is to basically work on yourselves, bring in a lot of compassion for yourself and for the other person, and try to understand the space from where the other person is coming, and just receive them where they are, and then change yourself. And obviously, when you start working on yourself, when you start changing yourself, then you'll see that it has an effect, outer effect as well, because change, we believe in our world, is always inside out process. So it's very important that we release the old baggage so that you are free to love yourself and others more freely. And just to help you understand about any one particular relationship that you may want to change, I would just like to lead you once again through a very small meditation, an awareness meditation. So if I can just ask you once again to sit comfortably with your eyes closed, bringing your entire attention onto your breath. Gently breathe in and breathe out, allowing your mind to completely relax. And as you are able to bring yourself into a state of complete relaxation, so often know that our minds are extremely occupied at all times with different thoughts, which are of different situations or different aspects of our life. And when our minds are so busy, it creates tension in our bodies. For this moment, just feel pleasant sense of relaxation as your mind is quiet and you just breathe. Gently breathe in and breathe out. And in this state of complete relaxation, bring to your mind one relationship in your life where you would like some clarity or insights for uplifting this relationship, or maybe anything else that you would want to change about this relationship. Just know that you would receive all the support and guidance in divine order, which will help you set everything right. Now, for a moment, think of the various relationships in your life and imagine that there are some old doors to the past which are ready to be closed, and ahead of you are some new doors which are ready to be opened in wonderful new ways of believing and being. Today, you may be ready and willing to make these changes and know that it is safe for you to make the changes that you seek in these relationships. And no matter what, all is well in your world. Take a few more deep, easy breaths. And when you feel ready, bring your awareness back into this moment as you stretch and gently open your eyes. Okay, so are we back? If each one of us is struggling in some form or the other with various relationships we have, it could be either with our parents, with our siblings, with our spouses, our children, and there are many different types of relationships which we could possibly explore that we have in our lives. And so if you could just reflect back and think to yourself about the many relationships you have in your life, say like your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your in-laws, your boss, work colleagues, friends, and of course the most important relationship in your life, your relationship with yourself. So how different are these relationships in your life from one another? And where do you feel that most of the issues in your relationships show up? Is it in your inner circles? Is it in your outer circles? Your professional life? Just stay with the thought, because there are some relationships which are very close to us, and yet there are a few which are very distant, which are just passing by relationships, and we resist being vulnerable to such relationships. And the relationships which are closest to us, when I say this, are possibly the most complex ones. Yeah, we feel it's okay for us to be vulnerable in these relationships, and yet at times we are not accepted. Our vulnerability is not accepted and we are misperceived, and these are the ones which most likely causes the hurt, resentment, and grief. So would you agree with me if I say that? often we get triggered by our closest relationships, where we tend to be hurt the most. And often in these relationships, what we see is that we see a need to be right rather than a need to be happy. We don't see the need for happiness here. We are always up to proving something, proving our self-worth to the other person, no matter who it is. And we usually end up choosing the path where we are right, proving ourselves right. Yeah. Is there anyone here who has never argued with your partner, your spouse? Anyone? Jean. Thank you for that. Okay. And sometimes, like some of you just made a mention in the chat box a little bit earlier that love, joy, and then respect is something that we seek. Yes. And when we don't receive this, that is where, everything changes for us. That is where the time when relationships start becoming challenging. And in case I just wanted to understand, do each one of you have a pad besides you? Because I just want to lead you through a small exercise, an awareness exercise, a very simple and a very beautiful exercise. Yeah, if you're just ready to take the deep dive. So what I would want you to do is just pull out your journals or your pads if you have them besides you, and just make a note of this question and write down whatever comes to your mind. It makes me angry when people do not listen to me, do not care for me. Anything that comes up, just take a moment. Whatever it is, it could be 2 things, it could be 3 things, it could be 5 things that come up for you. Just make a note of that. Just bring in that awareness. Complete the statement in as many ways as you can. So maybe it makes me really angry when people impose their views on me and want me to do the things their way when I am reluctant to do so. Know that we are not making anyone wrong here. It's just about bringing in an awareness and how we could deal with that. We are just getting in touch with what makes us angry. Okay. So let me move on to the next part. The second bit is, my biggest fear in relationships is. It could be fear of rejection. It could be fear of disapproval. It could be the fear of being abandoned, of not being accepted, the fear of being judged. Just become aware. What is this fear about in relationships for you? Okay, let's move on to the next part. What more do I seek from my relationships? So examples could be what I need from my relationship is respect. I need more love. I need more appreciation, more freedom, more joy, more acceptance. So whatever comes up to your mind, just write it down. Don't censor your thoughts or worry about what is possible and what is not possible, because we are here to just bring in the awareness. So understand that each one of us has needs in relationship and in relationships. And the last exercise was to just help you become aware about many such different things which you can become aware about in relationships, in your personal life. And basically we actually are offering personalized one-on-one sessions, which we normally offer at a 30% discounted rate on the mark price. Normally we offer a one-on-one session at $175 US. And today we are offering that at a 30% discount. The link would be posted in the chat. So if any one of you is inclined towards joining us for these one-on-one sessions, please click on the link and avail this offer. This offer would be valid till 30th of September. And also, as Deepa mentioned in the beginning of the session, I am a certified ICF coach, plus I am a holistic life coach, where I bring in a lot of spirituality into my coaching practice. And if anyone of you is seeking to reach out to me for a package on coaching, personalized one-on-one coaching sessions, you could reach out to Team Pranalink and they would be glad to connect you to me, and we could pursue this further. Okay, so with this thought, let me further progress. as I said, we all have different needs in relationships, which are extremely important to us, and they differ from each individual. And when they are not met, that becomes the root of all discomfort and the hurt which we go through, and we tend to be upset. The basic relationships that are things we wish others provided to us could be good connection, good emotional support. Validation is something that each one of us wants and each one of us seeks, or maybe affection. And often these needs are termed as dependency needs, because we are dependent on others to meet them for us. Yeah, and when these needs make us feel vulnerable, we start feeling deeply hurt when they are not met. And here what happens is, the first step what we need to do is to work on ourselves, to take ownership of our needs, our own needs, I would say. And we needn't be very self-critical about ourselves. Understand that having compassion for yourself and for other people is the most important thing, because each one of us is doing the best with the knowledge, the understanding, and the information awareness what they have. They couldn't have been better, and we couldn't have been better. And as I said earlier also in the beginning of the session, every experience we go through in life is there to give us a lesson. What we learn out of that lesson and what we change in our lives is what matters. And however, there lies a greater power in knowing that you are the center and in charge of meeting your own needs and taking care of yourself in the best possible way. So what if someone doesn't approve of you? Believe and understand that you are perfect just the way God created you. The control, the way you look at things is always in your hands, and you have all the power inside of you. Yeah. With this, I would just like to quickly run you through with the cycle of hurt which each one of us feels, which is very easy to understand and beautifully explained. Let me share that for you and see how it goes. So your need, your expectation from the other person not fulfilled, you feel hurt. Then you start making judgments about the person. Maybe you could label the person also, he, she is something like insensitive, selfish, dominating. And this possibly leads to you stop seeing the person beyond the labels. Every time the person comes in front of you, the label what you identify this individual with becomes bigger and bigger. And then what happens is that the hurt starts coming in more often, and it starts going deep within, which could eventually turn to resentment. Yeah. And you withhold love and connection. And at one point of time, the communication stops, and eventually you start feeling numb, dead, or indifferent to that relationship. So how many of you are able to connect with this chart which I have just showed up? So this brings to the end of what I had to speak, given considering the time and being mindful about the time which was allocated. I would also like to spend some time on any questions that you may be having. I would love answering them for you. So any questions? Just before we conclude, Deepa, I would just like to close the session with a small, nice treatment which I want to read out for everyone before we depart. So if there is something you all would like to talk about, please take over. I am done with what I needed to communicate and deliver. Thank you.
Hi, Prashant, thank you so much. This is wonderful. As you know, for those that are experiencing meditation as well as mindfulness, this was a great reminder to continue our practice, and if we fell behind, to start again. And for those that are just starting their practice, Prashant, you did a wonderful, clear, concise explanation, and the meditations were quite comforting. And for all of you that are not familiar with Pranalink, if you can click on the link, pranalink.com, and then Global will be following up with the email to everyone. So if you want a one-on-one session with Prashant, you'll be able to click on that link. Pranalink, personally, I would like to thank you for joining Pranalink and sharing your gifts, because they are gifts, with the world. It's really important, especially in the times that we're going through. And I personally feel a lot of gratitude and grace for being here today.
Thank you, Jean, for your kind words. Thank you very much. And so if we are to move on, probably then I would just like to leave each one of you with a nice treatment, which I just want to read out. So just follow everything that I have to read by simply closing your eyes and allowing everything that I have to say to just sink in. Once more, just bring your entire attention to your breath. In the infinity of life, where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. And yet, life is ever changing. There is no beginning and no end. Rather, it's only a constant cycling and recycling of substances and experiences. Life is never stuck, static, or stale, for each moment is ever new and fresh. I am one with the very power that created me, and this power has given me the power to create my own circumstances, and I rejoice in the knowledge that I have the power of my own mind to use in any way that I choose. I believe in a power far greater than I am that flows through me and in me, moment after moment, each day. I open myself to the wisdom within me, knowing that there is only one intelligence in the universe, and out of this one intelligence come all the answers, all the solutions, all the healing and new creations. And thus I trust this power and intelligence, knowing that whatever I need to know is revealed to me, and that whatever I need comes to me in the right time, in the right space, and the perfect sequence. Every moment of my life is a new beginning as I choose to move away from the old. And this moment is a new point of beginning for me right here and right now. All is well in my world, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being present. And from the bottom of my heart, a lot of gratitude to each one of you. Thank you. Namaste, Jean.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
rest of the evening.
Have a wonderful day. And those of you in India, have a wonderful time, a wonderful weekend. Sleep well. Thank you.